All right, guys. So this is my Blinding Storm Amazon. I haven't played spears pretty much this whole patch. I leveled with crossbows for my Amazon to get to level 70, and then I played from level 70 to level 91, which is the setup I threw together from stuff from my stash. And I will show you how it works. Here, this looks like a good map. All right, so this Oasis, what do we got here? So we'll run this Oasis. It's a T15 with some modifiers, and it's irritated, so that's +1 monster level, so that's a tier 16. And I was actually running this with a really, really crappy spear for a really long time, and it worked really well too. And I've managed to find a decent spear while I was just running around maps. And I think Tangle Tongue would work good too, but I couldn't use it because I didn't have Leech. But yeah, so survivability, not a big problem. As you can see, I'm pretty much immortal with this setup. I don't ever feel like I'm in danger, just because I'm using a whole bunch of different mechanics that are really good for survivability in this game. And with this setup, you can basically make your Amazon like immortal. I didn't try spears this whole patch, and I can see why everyone thinks they're so broken, because they kind of are, which is like kind of insane. As you can see, look at this, like all these swarmy enemies, like look, they're all fast enemies. Boom. Just totally fine. And that rare enemy, he's just frozen, can't go anywhere, right? So yeah, you pretty much feel immortal with this setup. I haven't felt like I had anything to worry about, and I have no idea if I'm even running a good setup on my lightning spear with this, to be honest, because I haven't played spears this whole patch. I don't know what people are playing on spears. I just heard that this character had really bad survivability, and coming from warrior, it did feel pretty bad initially, until I made just a couple little changes. But I started running this setup pretty early on, and it felt really good, so I just kind of kept running it. And all the items that we're using were really cheap, right? Now, I mean, obviously I found a decent spear while I was mapping with this character, but you could just use whatever crappy spear. I only found this at level 90. I used this spear all the way until I got to level 90. And this spear worked totally fine too, right? So I didn't have any problems at all running this spear as well. So I don't know. And this is just a crappy spear, right? And as you can see, right? It's totally fine, and I feel totally safe. I never feel threatened by anything. I'm leeching HP while I'm killing enemies, so my energy shield is also leeching. So yeah, I pretty much feel immortal. I never have to use health potions. Nothing really comes at me. Yeah, this setup feels pretty strong, and it seemed like a lot of people were complaining about feeling squishy, but when you set it up like this, you don't feel squishy at all. And I mean, again, this is tier 16 map, bunch of modifiers, right? And I'm using this crappy spear. This is the spear I was using. This is a nice sea glass spear. I found this while playing, and I just slammed it, and I got pretty good rolls. But this is the one I used the whole time to level, and it worked totally fine. And this setup runs a bunch of really interesting mechanics that are really, really good on this class, and all the stuff I'm using is really cheap. I literally just threw all these pieces together. The only thing I bought was this helmet. I just bought one helmet, and it was one div for this helmet, right? And I used this crappy spear, and I found the scepter, and I'm not even using this Lycus die or whatever shield. I just have it, right? But I mean, as you can see, it's yeah, it's pretty strong. We can clear the map just fine with pretty much zero effort. And rare enemies, not rare enemies, just whatever, right? It doesn't matter who it is. You just delete them. So yeah, this is a really good setup. I would definitely recommend it. Anyways, I'll show you guys how it works here. I don't know what people are running on this class, because like I said, I haven't played this class at all. I didn't play spears this whole patch, and maybe people have figured out all kinds of broken stuff, but I don't know. This seems really good, and it doesn't use anything. I checked the trade site for this stuff, and like all the stuff that I was using was really cheap, right? So, I mean, maybe I just like broke the game, or this is just something that people aren't looking at, right? But yeah, the whole time I was leveling, I used this spear. I found this nice sea glass spear with like this crazy accuracy roll on it, which was cool. And I think it's probably worth something, but I haven't checked. And then I just used this to level the whole way through. And I have better spears in my stash that I found, but the only reason I was using this one is because it says leeches damages physical life. And that's important because I'm using these furtive wraps, right? And it says life leech is converted to energy shield leech. So when you're running around maps with this, like you are leeching energy shield with your life leech, right? And then you're getting life leech from elemental damage with Mystic Harvest. So you're leeching energy shield with these gloves, and you basically never have to use a potion while you run around maps, right? And like this is like such an insane combo when you're just running through maps. Like I haven't done any bossing with this character, so I have no idea what the bossing setup is, but like whatever this mapping setup is, it feels so comfortable, and I feel like I'm never stressed. Like I can just walk around the map, nothing bothers me. I'm just chilling the whole time, right? But yeah, I've been running these gloves combined with like light, and like that's why I had a leech ruin in my sea glass spear too. It says leech 2% of damages life. Because I would have preferred if I had leech on that one too, but I'm mostly like, I didn't find this to level 90. I was just using this. But yeah, this is the spear I used to level the whole way through, and I'm sure you could buy this spear for dirt cheap. This isn't like some crazy roll spear. It's kind of just whatever. It's like a low accuracy roll, a little bit of crit, leech physical damages life, and then I combined it with these gloves. And yeah, these gloves are not bad. I bought these for like 10 exalts, and then I bought this this helmet for 1 divine. I mean, this helmet you don't even need. I just bought it because I was experimenting with it and I wanted more energy shield. I found this armor, decent roll armor. I was pretty happy with it. I couldn't wear it. As you can see, I didn't have enough stats for either the spear or my armor, so I just ended up slamming soul cores into them to get the stats that I needed. So yeah, because I literally threw this together with stuff from my stash, right? Like I didn't have any of this stuff, so I just like chucked this together with what I had and just bought this one helmet. But yeah, other than that, some really important mechanics. I'll go through. Like I'm just running a scepter so I could get spirit. These boots are actually my warrior boots. I stole off my warrior. So I just found them in my stash. They were an old pair of boots for my warrior. So like that's how quickly I just chucked this together. I found this belt while mapping, and it actually has insane rolls on it, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I just found this belt while mapping, and I didn't use this belt till I was level 91, so I actually had a crappy belt before that. There's some really super important interactions going on here. And then this ring I just found as well, and it's actually a pretty insane ring, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's just lots of resistances, right? Like all res capped, right? So that's why I put that ring on. And it had a fat accuracy roll on it, so that was pretty cool. And a fizz roll, which was nice. And then I'm using this ring. Okay, so there's some really important things going on here. So this Call of the Brotherhood Topaz ring converts 85% of your lightning damage gets converted to cold damage. Now, the reason it's not 100% is because this one's corrupted. And I bought this one corrupted for 4 exalts. Because I didn't want to convert all my lightning damage to cold damage because I still wanted to be able to shock enemies. So I just got this one, and it was literally 4 exalts, and it's 85% conversion lightning to cold. And then you combine that with this. Now this is really important. This amulet is dirt cheap. And it says blind chilled enemies on hit. So there's a bunch of really complicated mechanics going on here. But the first thing I'll talk about is this amulet is actually nuts. It gives you cold res, and it gives you damage, penetrate, 75% cold resistance. Now, a big chase item for this character appears to be the Beacon of Aziz. And if you look it up on the trade site, it's worth all kinds of money because critical hits penetrate resistances when you have a beacon amulet, right? This amulet just comes innate with cold pen. And because you're doing all cold damage, you're getting basically full penetration. Right? Like 75% cold pen is like insane amount of cold pen. Like if you go on the tree, you can't get that much cold pen from your whole passive tree. Like there isn't enough cold pen to make up for 75% on this whole passive tree. So this is a ton of cold penetration, right? Like most bosses only have 75% cold resistance. So it gives you like full penetration on a boss. And then you can combine that with exposure again, right? Just like if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I talk about exposure and how it drops enemies to negative resistances, right? But the reason this is so good is you're using lightning spear, right? But your lightning spear is being converted to cold damage, and then you have full cold penetration, right? And this amulet's like a single exalted orb. This is like a dirt cheap amulet. Like I have an extra one in my stash. Like I'll literally give you one if you want one. You just get these from killing Zhesht. But yeah, so you convert most of your damage from lightning damage to cold, then you get full cold penetration, and you blind chilled enemies on hit. And because you're doing all cold damage for the most part, every single enemy you hit is getting blinded. So now you can use blind mechanics, which are really strong on this character, right? Because of the way that accuracy and blind work together. And then blind is also a defensive layer as well as an offensive layer because of your crit, right? The way this crit is set up, you gain crit chance with accuracy on this character, right? So with blind, you give yourself more crit, and this stuff was not on your tooltips. Like this is all mechanics that are hidden behind the scenes that you don't know about, right? So like this is an amazing combo. Like when you combine this ring with this amulet, it's insane. Like it's actually insane. Like this is so strong because you're converting all your damage to cold, then you're blinding chilled enemies on hit, and you get full penetration, right? And then I anointed on this amulet pocket sand so it can increase my blind effect. And this is a really cheap anoint, right? Like it's paranoia, guilt, paranoia. Like this is dirt cheap. Like you literally will find these just running in like tier 1 maps. You'll find this stuff, right? And then there's like a few nodes on the tree that, I mean, I'll go through that too. But yeah, like this is so strong, man. Like this combo is so strong for mapping. It's insane, right? Like enemies are just nothing to you when you run this setup. Like they can't even get close to you. Like they're just so slowed, and it's nuts because you're stacking so many slows. Yeah, I don't know. This is a really strong setup. I would definitely recommend this if you just want a cheap mapping setup to absolutely delete screens with an Amazon and like feel completely safe while you do it. Like it's crazy. This is really, really strong. But I'll take you through the passive tree as well, and I'll show you that, or maybe I'll show you skill gems too. Like I said, I haven't played spears, so I don't actually know how spears are supposed to be set up. But like I'm just blasting through maps with this character, and I'm literally zero effort. So I'm assuming this is good, but I have no idea. So I was using this infused weapon, which is just on the tree, right? Like this is what I picked up on the tree. So I grabbed infused weapon, and then I grabbed mystic harvest, and then these 2 nodes down at the bottom on the Amazon. And with my infused weapon, I was using cold exposure, magnified effect, cold mastery, strip away, and rising tempest. I don't even know if rising tempest should be in there. Maybe it's not even worth having it in there. But I was just using strip away, cold mastery, magnify effect, cold exposure. So like I was inflicting cold exposure and strip away with this, and then the cold mastery increased the skill, and magnified effect just made the pops a little bigger. And then I have discipline for my scepter. And the reason I'm running Discipline Scepter as opposed to like a Malice one or whatever is just because I like having extra energy shield. Like if you take this off, you lose 200 energy shield, right? So yeah, it gives you extra energy shield, which I think is like really, really juicy. But yeah, I was running with Vitality and Precision on this, and just so I could get some health regen. I mean, you could run Clarity if you needed mana. I never found that I needed mana. And then I was running precision to get the accuracy bonus, just because that gives you more damage or more crit chance with this character, right? And then my lightning spear is literally level 14. Like I'm not even running a high level lightning spear. Like you think about how much more damage you could get. Like I literally tossed this together when I'm saying I just threw it together with like junk I had laying around. I didn't put any effort in to set this up, and I'm absolutely destroying everything, and I feel immortal. And it feels like enemies can't even touch me. So I mean, I don't know. This seems really strong to me. And then I put cold infusion on my lightning spear because we're converting all of our lightning to cold. So this just gives you more damage. And then ice bite because you gain more damage as cold when you kill a freezing enemy, right? For 5 seconds when you freeze an enemy with it, right? And you're freezing enemies nonstop with this setup, right? Every time you throw your spear, you're freezing enemies. So this is basically on all the time. And then I was using this Volt because it seems like this makes like you gain Volt when you run around, and then you gain extra lightning damage, and because your lightning damage is getting converted to cold, this just made sense to me. So I was running that. And then I was running primal armament just to increase my elemental damage, because you just get more elemental damage. Now, I don't know what you're supposed to run on Stormlance. I was just deleting bosses with this. I don't even know. I know this character can like one-shot bosses. I haven't really played around with it, but I was deleting map bosses with just like this 3-link, and I just put Martial Temple, Bozai, and Blindside in it. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. This worked totally fine. So, I mean, yeah, it says supported skills cannot inflict blind, but have critical damage bonus against blinded enemies. And because every single enemy is blinded, like you just get this all the time. So, like, this is insane because you're blinding every enemy with this, right? You're throwing lightning damage. Your lightning damage is converted to cold. They get chilled. They get blinded. So everything's instantly blinded. So, like, this just made sense. So I put it in there. I don't know. I was using cast on critical, but I don't know if you need this. Because cast on crit gives you the sniper's mark, and I was using it with impetus and energy retention. Again, there's probably better setups for this. Like, I literally just threw this together. I don't even know if you need this, because I was getting so many frenzy charges without this, but I was using this for frenzy charge generation. So, and then I have barrage with ingenuity and premeditation. I wasn't even using this. Like, I don't think I pressed this button once. Like, I put it in there, but I never pushed the button. And then shield charge I just had, and I pretty much never used that either, but I was just using it for getting around faster. You know, if I was like running through a map, I could like shield charge to get around. And I just had a shield on my weapon swap, right? Like I had this shield, but I haven't even been using the shield. I've just been using a scepter, so I don't know. I mean, maybe I should be using the shield instead. Maybe I'd be doing more damage. I didn't feel like I needed any damage. But anyways, then I was running Herald of Ice with Reach, Ambush, and Freeze Buildup with Glaciation. So yeah, I was just running this, and this seemed really strong. I don't know. I mean, it was because you're freezing enemies. Your Herald of Ice pops constantly with your lightning spears, right? And then I just had Combat Frenzy with Profusion so I could get more charges. And like all my gems are low level. Like I don't have attributes, right? Because I didn't invest in any gear. Like I just slapped this together with like junk I had laying around, right? So I don't have enough attributes to like run a lot of this stuff. Like I can't even level up my lightning spear because my dex is so low. So I mean, but yeah, I was just running Combat Frenzy, and how you gain frenzy charges is like you freeze, electrocute, or pin an enemy, right? Because you're freezing enemies constantly with this setup, you have frenzy charges because you have so much cold pen and you're converting all your lightning damage to cold that you just have permanent uptime on frenzy charges. Like I never run out of frenzy charges with this setup when I'm running around maps. Like I just permanently have them. It just feels so busted. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, is it this skill broken or is like my setup broken? I don't know. And then I was running Blasphemy. Now, like this skill is like disgusting with temp chains. So temporal chains slows enemies, right? It slows enemies in a circle around you, and you can add other supports. Like Ritualistic Curse gives it more area of effect. Heightened Curse makes it more magnitude. And I added Encumbrance to increase the amount of slow, right? And I combined this with a bunch of stuff on my skill tree to make it even more broken. And like this is like a crazy setup, right? So I don't know. I think this is really good. I mean, if you wanted the curse radius to be bigger too, you could take like magnified effect and slot it in there, and then your curse radius will be even larger. But yeah, temp chains just is like nuts, right? That's that little purple thing around my feet. That's temporal chains, right? So when I curse enemies, they just get slow, like really, really slow. Like they can't get me, right? Like I just, like my defensive layers are crazy with this. Like I feel immortal. Like all I have to do is just walk by enemies, right? Like, because how hitboxes work in this game is like an enemy walks up to you, you're running around, enemy walks up to you, and it goes to hit you. But if you're moving and the enemy is slow, you just walk past them, and then they just hit where you were, right? So you just walk right by. So as long as you're moving, you can basically never get hit, like because the enemies are just so slow. And then you're also like you're cursing them to slow them, right? But then you combine this with a node on the tree, right? So you combine this setup with this node right here, zone of control. So enemies you curse are hindered with 15% reduced movement speed, right? So I'm cursing the enemy with temporal chains, and then I'm hindering them at the same time. So they're getting slowed by temp chains, then they're getting slowed by being hindered. And I stack this with even more slows to make them more like it even more obnoxious. Like enemies just can't move, right? Like it's disgusting. This setup's disgusting, man. And then temp chains, I put encumbrance on it to increase the slow. heightened curse to increase the magnitude of the slow, and then ritualistic curse to increase the area of effect, right? So when I'm running around, like basically like for half the screen, everything that's close to me just gets slowed. So like I can't get swarmed. And like even though my evasion rating is only 39%, I mean you could run this with like evasion armor and it'd be fine too. I just like having a bigger health pool. And I mean this stacks with blind mechanics. I'll have to go into that too because there's a bunch of things going on here. But I'll take you through the skill tree. So like all I did was path down here. I zip zooped down this way. I just grabbed this one node as I was going by because it had more area of effect and that seemed good. And then I path down here and I grabbed movement speed because I love movement speed. So I just grabbed this node because I love movement speed. I threw a jewel here. I just found this jewel. It was like a presence area of effect, cold damage, recover mana on kill. These mana on kill jewels are really nice. So if you find a jewel that says mana on kill, you kind of want to keep that. And then the stun threshold equal to your energy shield. This is a really nice mod on jewels, right? Like don't leave these behind if you're running energy shield. Like this is a really good mod, right? Because you're getting a lot of stun threshold from your energy shield when you have that. That's really nice. That's a really nice little mod. And I just picked up these 2 elemental nodes because I was going by them. And then I grabbed this wheel. And the reason I grabbed this wheel is attack damage, movement speed, and then maim on hit. And then debuffs you inflict have increased slow magnitude, right? And debuffs, right? So this is important because like this stuff is all like really important right here. Debuffs and slow magnitude, right? And then I also grabbed this node, and this node gives you a chance to maim on hit. Enemies maimed by you suffer slower movement speed and reduced evasion rating, right? So reducing their evasion rating should increase your accuracy, which would increase your crit. Then they also move slower. And then this slower, the slow right here is debuffs, right? Now this stacks. We're going to go into this because this is like, there's a lot to unpack here. It's actually crazy. And then I just grabbed all these nodes down here because this made sense to me. Grab the whole spear wheel. I grabbed the skill speed because I wanted the movement speed because this is 3% movement speed and that's just really juicy. Like I only have 30% MS boots and my character feels really fast. And a lot of people were running like the Roa, but I don't know. I hated the Roa. I found the Roa annoying. And then I pathed up here and I grabbed this Coming Calamity because it was 50% increased cold damage while affected by Herald of Ice. So I grabbed this node because of that. So this is just really juicy because it just gives you a bunch of free damage and I'm using Herald of Ice. So, and then I grabbed this whole crit wheel. Now, if I had like a diamond, like Against the Darkness diamond, I'd probably plop it in here, but I didn't have one because I just threw this together with stuff in my stash, right? But I just had this like crit damage bonus jewel and it just like seemed fine. So I just threw it in here because I was getting crit damage bonus from these 3 nodes, like 30%. So I don't know, it seemed fine. But yeah, I anointed Pocket Sand because of this blind effect, right? Now, being blinded causes 20% less accuracy and evasion rating for 4 seconds, right? So that's why that thing is like everything is blinded. When you throw a single spear, because you're chilling everything, everything is blinded, right? Like blind enemies chilled on hit, right? Like chilled is what happens when you hit them with any cold damage. Enemies get chilled. So every single enemy is blinded, right? So and then you increase the blind magnitude with this node for really cheap. So you get 50% more blind. And then blind increases your crit and it decreases their accuracy. So this gives you more evasion rating. So your evasion rating is way higher than it says it is. So even though I only have 40, I probably have way more evasion rating once I hit an enemy because they're blinded. So like it's just nuts, right? And then I grabbed these 3 nodes right here because look, 15% damage against blinded enemies, 15% damage against blinding enemies, 25% damage against blinding enemies, and a blind duration. So like boom, right there, you just get 55% more damage for free because every single enemy you hit is blinded. Again, because you're chilling enemies and chilled enemies are blinded. So it's like, man, that's crazy. I came up here and I grabbed Subterfuge Mark. And just evasion rating, and then you get that energy shield equipped helmet +2 evasion rating. So that's why I'm running like a big energy shield. That's why I spent 1 divine to buy this energy shield tiara, right? But yeah, like this node's super broken. Like lots of people pick this node. I think it's really, really good. And I pathed up here. Now there's all this damage right here I didn't bother to get. But I didn't bother to grab it because it says blind enemies with hit on attacks. I'm already blinding every single enemy I hit. So I don't really need to blind enemies on hits. So I just went by it. I grabbed this freeze build up because I'm doing all cold damage, so it just seemed nice. I grabbed this crit stuff. I looped in here because I wanted this movement speed. Again, more movement speed, run faster. And then you get some evasion and energy shield, which is just nice. And then I pathed up here. Now, this is really important because I pathed up here. I grabbed, boom, all this curse area of effect. So that's my blasphemy curse, right? Around my feet. So that's really juicy. And then, sorry, my joystick's still busted on this controller. This is really super juicy because you get curse magnitude, area of effect, and then this hinder. And again, hindered is a debuff that slows enemies. Now this is important because this goes back to even this node down here. This node, debuffs you inflict have increased slow magnitude. So like hinder is a debuff, right? So you can stack slow magnitude with all of this, right? And then there's another node up here that does the same thing. So I pathed up through here. I grabbed this node here. Now I was also going to grab this node because I'm still doing some elemental or some lightning damage. So I still shock enemies. This node gives me 30% elemental damage if you chill an enemy, and I chill enemies constantly because all I'm doing is basically cold damage. So this is just free 30% damage. And then I was going to grab this node too because that gave me 30% damage if I shock an enemy, because I shock enemies constantly because I'm still doing some lightning damage. I pretty much have 100% uptime on both of these nodes. So it's just 60% damage. But then I pathed down here and I grabbed this. Now look at this again. Debuffs you inflict have a 4% increased slow magnitude, 20% increased hinder duration. So that stacks with this, right? Slow magnitude, slow magnitude, slow magnitude, right? So that's just all slow magnitude, right? And same thing with chilled. Chilled is a slow, right? Slows are debuffs. So when you hit an enemy, you're hitting them with a slow from your chill, right? So they're getting slowed by your chills. They're getting slowed by your maim. Because what is maim? Maim is a slow, right? Slows are debuffs. And you have debuff magnitude on all your slows. So boom, they're getting maimed. They're getting slowed, right? They're getting hindered. They're getting slowed. They're getting hit by temporal chains. They're getting slowed. They're getting chilled. They're getting slowed. You stack 4 slows and a blind on every single enemy that you hit. They get 2 of them get stacked by just being in your presence. The other 2 get stacked by hitting enemies. So everything is slowed. And then on top of that, enemies freeze because you freeze enemies solid into a block of ice and they can't even attack you. And then temporal chains stacks with that because it increases the length of debuffs. Temporal chains literally increases debuff length. Like all debuffs you inflict with temporal chains, effect expiry speed reduction inflicted. So it increases the length of the debuff. So when you freeze or chill or maim or slow or hinder an enemy, they're getting increased debuff duration. So they stay frozen for longer. They stay maimed for longer, right? Like this basically makes you immortal when you run through maps because enemies can't move around you. If you hit them, they're chilled, they're blinded, they're slowed, they're hindered. Like just nothing can kill you. You're basically immortal. Even if you had no armor on, you're pretty much immortal as long as you don't stand still like a monkey, right? Like it's insane. Like this is so broken. But yeah, anyways, I passed down here. I threw this jewel in here that I just found while I was playing, and it was kind of cool. It was cold damage, crit, and area of effect. It's like the perfect jewel for my build, and I just found this, and I was like, wow, that's pretty decent. And then I just grabbed all this crit wheel stuff. So yeah, I just grabbed this crit wheel stuff because I was close to it, and there's a lot of damage, right? And there's some attributes, and I needed attributes because I couldn't wear anything. So there was 2 sets of attribute nodes right there, plus crit. And then I just pathed down to grab Eternal Youth. But yeah, this setup's like insane, man. Like this is insane. Like I feel immortal running through maps with this setup. And I've heard this character is like an insane bosser, but like I don't know what the bossing setup is for Amazon. I haven't played it enough. Like all I did was run some maps with this. And if you're like, oh, well, I can't run this setup because like, you know, I've got my bossing setup or whatever. Okay, so just do a weapon set swap and you could run this setup for mapping, right? Like you could just go in here. You could refund all these nodes, right? Just go refund everything. Say maybe you're not running temporal chains for bosses. Okay, so you just refund all these nodes too, right? Refund all these nodes. Okay, so now you got a bunch of set points. Okay, so boom, we'll do weapon set 1. Weapon set 1. weapon set 1, right? Now this is all weapon set stuff. So this is just all mapping stuff, right? Boom. Now you have a whole mapping setup. So now every time you're on weapon set 1, all you're doing is running all this hinder debuff stuff. Now you still have 14 points left to run whatever you want. Like maybe you're running lightning damage as your bossing setup. So you just path down here, right? And when you go to select the node, how you select the nodes is you just pick which one. See, it says allocate main, allocate weapon set 2, right? So I want to be on weapon set 2 because this is my bossing setup. Say I'm running lightning damage as my bossing setup, right? I'm going to increase my lightning damage, shocks. So yeah, I'll just run all this lightning damage stuff. Boom, you know, I'm running lightning damage as my bossing setup. Let's say I'm just doing that. Like I you know, just as an example. Oh, there's electrocute build up here. There's lightning damage here, shock duration, shock magnitude. So I could be running all this on my weapon set 2, right? Increase magnitude of shock. So this could be all my weapon set 2 stuff, right? Oh, and it's like, oh, if I just want to run lightning damage, okay, so carry another ring, right? So if you go to the boss, just switch your ring and your amulet for the boss. And then now you have a bossing setup. So you literally run this super slow debuff setup in maps where you basically are completely immortal. And then when you go to boss, you can run your bossing setup. Like you could grab this crit over here. If you feel like you need more defenses, you have access to all of this energy shield evasion nodes right here. You have access to all these energy shield evasion nodes right here. So you could drop damage. I literally felt immortal, so I didn't even bother to take any of these, right? Like I have a, you know, I have like almost a 4,000 health pool. I have energy shield leech with my setup, right? So I'm leeching energy shield all the time. I have access to eternal youth if I do have to chug a health potion, and I have 2200 energy shield, and that just goes to my energy shield. But yeah, like this, I feel immortal with this setup running through maps. So I don't know, man. If you want to feel immortal on your Amazon, like if you just got to maps and you just want to run maps and chill and feel completely immortal, like this setup absolutely will do that for you. Right? And you can easily weapon set swap this so that you could just run this as your mapping setup and have some kind of secondary setup set up for bosses, whatever your secondary setup might be, you know, like shock magnitude or whatever it might be. Like shock magnitude is obviously good on bosses. But yeah, I haven't done any bossing with this character, but I mean, you have access to this. You could put this crit wheel on your second weapon set, right? So just more damage. You know, you could put this crit wheel here on your second weapon set. You could put more evasion energy shield on your second weapon set just so you have a bigger pool when you go to fight the boss, because then you could take more hits. You could run evasion armor. Like I'm not running evasion armor, but you could be running evasion armor or evasion energy shield armor and have the same amount of pool that I do. Because like last season I had an evasion energy shield chest with 1200, 500 on it for evasion ES that I found. And like if you ran that with this, you're going to have even more energy shield than I have. And all you'd have to do is take these 4 points, right? And now you're going to have a ton of evasion energy shield. But yeah, this setup's insane, man. I don't know. This is like insane. I feel absolutely immortal and untouchable running through maps with this setup. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have another one of these amulets somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but if you guys want it, just let me know. I still have like a couple. I have this Tangle Tongue too that I was using on this character, but it didn't leech life, so I got rid of it. But it worked fine. But yeah, someone could have this if they want this Tangle Tongue. You can just send me a message. And I also found I still have my old boots for my warrior. If someone wants these warrior boots, just let me know. And I have some base plates for warrior too. And I still have this Zoph's Blood amulet. So if anybody wants that, just fire me a message if you see me online and just say, hey, can I have this? And I will let you know. And I found this really juicy jewel for like a fire warrior. Like look at this, 1 max fire res, damage with maces, fire pen, and stun buildup. Dude, this is so nice. Like this would be really good. Like if you were running my warrior build, I would 100% recommend this. Like I'll just give this to you if you want it, but it's really good. Yeah, and then I have a couple of these Ornate plates, so if you just need a base plate, like I just found them and threw them in my stash, so if someone wants them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to play an Amazon and feel immortal and not be afraid of any enemies, yeah, I would definitely recommend this. This feels like mapping on turbo easy mode. But yeah, that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know down below. If you want to max roll this, I could probably max roll this. I don't know if anybody does want a max roll of it. It's kind of janky. Like I said, I just threw it together. I don't know if any of this is right. I literally just slapped this together, like I said. I don't know what's supposed to be in these skills. Like I was killing map bosses with this and they were just getting instantly deleted. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I have no idea. This character seems really broken. Maybe people who like play a lot of spears could help you or give you some advice, or maybe some spear players in the comments could help. But yeah, that's it. All right. Cheers, guys. I'll see you on the next one.